Hi guys, I'm back. Again, it took me a while. I get busy and I think, well, I need to get that done and something else gets in the way or I think something else is more important. So, October 1st, that was 5 days ago, was my 10-year anniversary of my first testosterone shot. So that was October 1st of 2012. And so this is October 5th of 2022. So some of us call it our Manniversary because, and it's a red letter day for me anyway. Some of us call it our new birth date. Um, I want to do a slideshow. I'm changing this so the light's better on my face. I want to do a 10-year anniversary um, video slideshow, and that hasn't gotten done, and so I need to get that done because that's interesting. And I'm also looking at doing a video of the rest of my life because after 70 years that's a lot of baggage. Um, so I'm looking at doing those. It's fall, and I love fall. It's my favorite time of the year. The only problem is we're going into winter. So it's like, okay, here's fall, and oh, winter. I like winter, but it's cold. And, anyway, um, where was I? I'm having one of those days where things just don't work right. Um, Anyway, I love fall. I love the smell, the look of the light, the low level of the light in the sky. It's just the air, the feeling. I love it. I love that time of the year. Um, I've got my October crochet window display up. Um, and I based it on before I based it on Halloween, and I've got it Halloween colors of black, orange, green, purple, and they're mandalas. Um, so I've got those up, and I should probably hang on just a sec. Okay, I went over. I thought, I'm talking about it. I should probably show you what it looks like. Mandalas are maybe not geometric, but they're round and all different colors and all different stitches. It's kind of like a sampler of stitches, and I do those. I love to do those, and all of them are different. All of them are a different pattern, and so I like to do those. And so that's what's hanging up in my window right now. All these, I've got about 15 of them hanging up in the window. That's my my October fall display. Um, my joints have been getting worse, and I finally made an appointment with the orthopedic surgeon to have him look at the right knee. It's the worst of the two knees. My right elbow is really bad. I'd had it fixed in, oh gosh, almost 40 years ago. But the knee is bad in that I can't walk if it's hurt, whereas the right elbow I can kind of make do with it. Um, so I've got an appointment. They can't get to me till middle of December, which is kind of common. Um, so that's set up to go. Um, I was talking about volunteering at the it's called Kitty City. It's the cat humane society, adoption society, and I've been doing that several days a week. You go in, I do socialization, I pet and love up the kitties. It's hard work, I'll tell you. It's my kitty fix since I can't have a pet where I'm living. But right now it's on hold because some of the kitties cropped up with a very transmittable infectious. It's a virus or parasite. I can't remember. And so nobody is allowed to come and go except for the staff. The kitties have all been put into separate cages. In the past, they're in big rooms, grouped in big rooms, and they kind of all interact with each other. And they've got their beds and their cat trees and all of that. But because it's transmittable between the cats, they can't be together because it just keeps happening. One gets sick, the other one gets sick, and they're getting their medications and they've got them separated. But it's the staff that goes in, they have to be real careful about not touching too much stuff, and they have to put boots on that they have to step in and out of, Clorox going in and out. So that's on hold. So I'm not getting my kitty fix right now. Everybody's, the volunteers plus the poor pussy cats. They're thinking, wait a minute, I'm in a cage, and where are my friends at? I feel sorry for the kitties. So that's going on. Talking about health issues, I got my third COVID vaccine booster the day before October 1st, last day of September, in other words. And I've had problems with it in the past. Some of my vaccines, I had no side effects at all. And one previous, I think it was my second vaccine, I got so sick. I went into anaphylactic shock. It was your whole body hurts, headache, just tremendous pain all over the body, everything, all the muscles, even the fingers hurt. And that one lasted for about 3 days. And but then I had the first 3 boosters. Anyway, this last booster, I knew that it could possibly be a problem, but I didn't think too much about it. Put your head in the sand and hope for the best. And I also had the, hang on a second, I've still got a runny nose. I also got my flu shot, my yearly flu shot. And if you're over 65, which I'm 70, they give you a heavier strength one. Here goes the light again. Doggone light. And it hurts more. And between those two, I got so sick. For the first 36, 40 hours, I was just really deathly ill. Again, with all the side effects. I didn't get the shock, but it's kind of those symptoms because I was going in and out of consciousness, and I knew what it was, so I just hunkered down, bundled up in a blanket in my recliner, and you go back and forth between fever and freezing and chills and no appetite. I made sure to drink water so I could flush my system, but all I really wanted was some coffee. So I just held on, got better. So it's the old thing, if it doesn't kill you, it'll make you better. When I first started coming out of it, I thought, oh, thank goodness. And you get real fuzzy-headed. It's terrible. What happened is the afternoon I started feeling better and I actually didn't put my glasses on because everything was so blurry and my balance was off. I really didn't want to see anything. My eyes hurt. So I had all the blinds pulled and anyway, I started feeling better. I I opened up the curtains so I could see outside, see the birds. And the next door neighbor, they decided to work on their backyard. They were building something, I don't know, maybe some kind of border on the garden. And the husband started putting these metal stakes into the ground and hitting them with a metal hammer. So you were getting this wham, wham, and it was like, oh no. And what was left of the headache was, it was terrible. And so I finally went out to my car, sat in my car, but 4 houses down where my car is parked, and in the car closed up, I could still hear the noise. So I just tried. I thought about driving somewhere, but I thought, no, the condition I'm in, I don't want to try and drive. But I finally sat out there, and then at some point I heard it stop. So I went back in the house, and it was over with. So, hey, you know, you got to live with it. I keep crocheting just over and over again, and so lots and lots of hats. I finally had to start boxing them up and categorizing my inventory because it was so much. I have about 80 hats at this point, and I couldn't just say, someone would say I like hat such and such, and I just go into the stack and say, okay, here it is. I didn't know who was who, what was what, so I started numbering them and filing them, putting them in boxes and filing them so that I can find the darn things. And so I keep doing that. And is there another one I like to show? Oh, I like this one. I like all my hats. This is kind of a beret style, you know, the French look, or Canadian look, whatever. Anything else I want to show? No, there's too many to show. I haven't been crocheting the last few days. Is my hair up? I'm looking at myself. Oh, I fixed my hair. I was just trimming a few little flowers, a little this, a little that, so I didn't have my work gloves on. And I had a long pair of scissors I was using. Anyway, next thing I know, and I went, uh-oh, I cut myself. Well, I thought, okay, I cut myself, you know. And then I looked down, and it was gushing. Gushing blood. And oh dear, that's not good. And I thought, well, I'll stopper it up and maybe it'll stop. So I went in the storage room and got a towel and did this, and I proceeded to go ahead and finish up what I was doing. In other words, put the scissors away, nothing else. And it kept bleeding, kept soaking up. And I thought, I hate to go to the urgent cares right across the street. And I thought, yeah, I hate to go in because they'll say, oh, you're a wimp. It's not that bad. But it just kept bleeding. And I've had to go in before because I chopped myself up. I took the tip off of this finger. And I took a chunk out of the end. And so I finally loaded myself up in my car and waited. I thought, it's going to be hard to drive. I don't want to go in there and be embarrassed that I've cut myself. So I waited and it did slow down. So I went in and I bandaged it up. And fortunately, it's only on the end so that around the edges, I can still kind of use it, but don't touch the end. So no crochet right now. Let's see. Oh, I I've had several websites over the years, starting in 1996 when the internet World Wide Web first started. I started building websites for my various, like my jewelry that I make and my crochet hats. And my last one, I've made 5 over the years. And my last one was really good. It was perfect for me. It did exactly what I wanted to do. It was very simple, and I was very pleased with it. Well, the company that was hosting me sold it to another company, and my account was supposed to migrate from the first one to the second one. And it didn't happen, and it didn't happen, and I kept contacting the new ones and say, "Where's my site? I can't get into it. I can get into it, but I can't edit it." And so my inventory, as I put my hats up, as they sell, I take that hat down. So now I can't change my inventory. So if someone contacts me and wants hat number such and such, and I have to apologize and tell them that one's not available anymore, which is bad business. You don't leave stuff up. So the company just kept saying, "Well, we're working on it." It didn't happen. So it was getting into fall last year, getting into Christmas, and I didn't have a site, couldn't sell. They actually took, they actually stopped my account, so I actually couldn't show it at all. So I was selling on a local neighborhood site, and that worked pretty well. But then I thought, I really need to I've got so many hats now, that I needed to put it back up on a website. So I've been doing that. I've been creating and building another new website. And I'm using a different host and provider or building platform. So I'm having to learn that before I actually build it and put it up. So I've been doing that. And let's see, anything else that I missed? I have something I want to do besides making those slideshows. I've been doing house sitting and pet sitting over several decades, and funny stories happen. Things happen that are not always funny at the time, but they end up making for really good stories afterwards. And I've had family and friends tell me, "You need to write a book of these stories." So I started doing that, but I don't know. I wasn't getting the book done. All the stories are there. I outlined and all the chapters, but it wasn't getting done. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to share some of those stories, maybe one story per video. Some are kind of short, but some are very long. In other words, one house, the owner says, you'll probably, where my house, it's going to be a whole chapter. And I says, yeah, it is. It was a difficult one. So that's something in my queue that I want to do. In terms of the transgender and the health and all that, it's just perking along and it's fun, fine. And so but I just wanted to touch base with you again before I get my tush in gear and make those other videos. So I'm going to turn this thing off. I have to look and see. And I will talk to you again, hopefully sooner. So take care, guys.